Everybody, good evening. I'm Brett Davidsen, and welcome to Election Night. This is kind of we're going to do a little behind the scenes here at News 10 NBC, give you an idea of what's going on this election night. Of course, the polls are still open. We're still not ready to start looking at and tabulating these votes, but we'll give you an idea of just how everything works around here so you know where all of this sort of starts and ends. So let me bring you into this, what we call master control. And this is really where you get an idea of everything we're bringing in on all the different feeds, everything that's then going out over the air. This is Joe. Joe is our master control operator on shift right now, right, Joe? Joe, what are you looking at right now?
Right now we're running. The network feed. The beginning of the coverage, in a sense. The coverage began at 7 o'clock, and this is my format for the 7 o'clock hour, and this is what I'm following along, and this also tells me when to run my brakes.
So he's got to stay attentive this whole time to make sure he hits the brakes at the right time. And he's looking at all these. Now, we have various channels over the air. We have Me TV and Ion and some of these other ones. And we're looking at Me TV, the feed coming in on that. They're showing MASH right now. But you see some of these other cameras up here. Net 1, Net 2, Net 3, those are all feeds coming in from the network, right?
Yes, they're all coming in from NBC.
And what else have we got here? This is what's over the air right now.
Yeah, all of this and those monitors over there. We have 10.3, which is Start TV.
That's that one there. Ion up here.
Right, Ion, Heroes and Icons. So Ion Plus, that's something new we added this year. So
you got to keep tabs on all that as well?
I have to keep attentive to all that. But the most important thing is, especially tonight, is NBC.
We've got to be on top of the election coverage all night long. All right, Joe, thank you. By the way, Joe also has to take care of, these are all our different cameras. We'll show you in the studio in a few minutes. You'll get to see some of the cameras in the studio. They're all run remotely, and these are the different shots you can call up. Can I push any of these buttons, or will I get in trouble?
No,
I can push that, and that'll show you. It'll turn the camera so you have that different angle. But he's also coordinating all these different camera shots in the studio when called upon. So that's over there. Now we also have crews out live in the field. We used to use the big satellite trucks, the big satellite dish on the top, or the microwave trucks, or the tall microwave pole. We don't really use those much anymore. We use these portable packs. They use cellular technology, and so satellite technology. And these are what they call live view units. And so we monitor from over here the different live streams that we are sending from our live coordinates. So you'll see Berkeley out there. He'll be on one of these. You'll see Jen out there. She'll be on one of these. So we'll be keeping an eye on those, and that's all done from here as well. That's your master control right now. And we're going to take you now inside. This is what we call sub-control, and this is really the nerve center of these newscasts. You see the folks working in here. Let's see, what have we got? Okay, so this is where our producer will sit, and our producer is the person who is sort of organizing the entire show, writing a lot of the copy, putting in the order in which you'll see these stories presented, and they'll be sitting here following along. You'll see the script here. You'll see the various different story, what we call slugs. Each story gets a slug. So they'll be following along there, also able to talk to the anchors. You know how we wear those earpieces. They'll be able to talk to the anchors out in the studio, give them instructions. You need to be standing over here, or skip this story, or we're dropping this story. All of that is done from here with our producer. Over here is our director, and this is Alexis. She's one of our directors here.
Hello.
And she kind of take us through this, Alexis. What are you This is a rundown. So this is the order of all the different stories that are going to air. Is this our 11 o'clock newscast?
This is the cut-ins.
Okay, so we're doing these news break, what we call cut-ins, and you'll see there's a different, what we call a slug for each different story, and they're all coded so that they run in the proper order, and you'll know whether there's going to be video with them, and it'll tell you where the anchor should be standing or sitting. which camera will be used, and which graphics will be used as well. So Alexis is following along on this. What is this over here, Alexis?
This is the automated rundown. So we pre-code everything on ENPS over here, which is our rundown. And then as we go through, you'll see put things up.
So do you have to click on that for that to come up then?
Yes.
Okay. So and this is what will be, you're looking at this monitor here. This is what our viewers are seeing?
This is preview and this is on air. So I'm always looking at what's in preview and on air.
Okay. So you're getting a look ahead of time before it ends up over here.
Yes.
And these are the various different cameras you see. We have camera 5, which is sort of an overhead camera. And then you have the various cameras in our studio, 0, 1, 2, and 3. And then we have a couple of, what are these two server or A, B, and C servers?
Those are all of our video servers. So as I go through the rundown, it'll kick out old video and put new video in.
Gotcha. All right. And you got to be watching all of this throughout the entire newscast, and it's got to be meticulous.
Yes.
You know? And you talked about the automated system, this coding, because if something's coded wrong, maybe the wrong video comes up or the wrong graphic comes up.
Yeah, we have a bunch of things to make sure that even when things go wrong, that it looks as clean as possible on air. We have all these buttons so that we can throw up cameras, and if we forget to code something, we can just throw things up. So we always have someone checking over our code, but we're also looking what's on air and what's in preview to make sure that what you see on screen is good and accurate to the rundown.
Oh my gosh. All right. Well, it's going to be a busy night, and it's always on the fly on election night. You know, it's nothing goes as planned. Although we've had meetings and there's been planning going on for months as to how we're going to cover this election night. But you never know when the numbers are going to come in and when they're going to call races. And sometimes we may be sitting out there in the studio just when a race gets called. And so you kind of have to change things on the fly, and you got to be able to adjust. And that's what makes it interesting and fun, actually, on election night. Although it's probably a lot more difficult for these guys back here. All right, we're going to go into the studio. We'll give you a quick tour of the studio. Taylor, going right by you here. All right. Various servers over here. The newsroom is in here. I'll give you a little tour of the newsroom a little bit later on tonight. Right now, we're going to go right in here. We call it the media center, but it's really the studio. Before we go in there, just a quick side note. It wouldn't be Election Day without Election Day pizza. And you go to any newsroom in America, and on election night, they bring in the pizza. So we got, 4 sheet pizzas here from Gigi's, East Rochester. We'll give them a little plug. We usually kind of mix it up. We use somebody different all the time, but they were kind enough to provide us with our election night pizza. All right, let's go in the studio. Here we go. This is where all the fun happens. This is our studio here at News 10 NBC. Over here, this is our weather center. This is where Stacy does all her forecasting. She's working on all these computers, looking at all the data. She does it right here in the studio. This is really her office right here. This is where we are working from. In the early shows, it's me and Deanna. Tonight at 11, it'll be me and Nikki. But we're usually sitting, for at least part of the newscast, here at this desk. Tonight at 11 o'clock, we're going to get rid of this desk. And you might say, how do you do that? Well, we can roll it out of here. So we'll be rolling this thing out of here so that you can get a better idea and a better look at all the various different angles that we're going to be showing you these results from. So we have this giant wall screen right here. So you get a better, just a better look at some of the graphics that we have to share during this election night. We have other places here where we can bring up these results, as well as over here. But if you look over here, we'll be looking this direction, obviously, and this is because this is where all our cameras are. And you can see what we see. What you see is on the camera, you have the monitor, so whatever's on the air is showing right here, so we can look down, see if we're on camera or if there's video that we need to reference. But on here is where we're reading from. This is our teleprompter, and what it does is there's a screen right here, and it projects up to this one-way glass. So what you're looking at behind the glass is the lens of the camera. So while we're reading it, we're looking directly at the lens. That way we don't have to be constantly looking down at scripts, which, by the way, we don't use paper scripts anymore. We use iPads, and so everything's electronic. We save a lot of paper. We also have these laptops that we keep right here. And let me get on this side of you here, Taylor. And we can follow along on the rundown. You remember I told you about the rundown. So we can keep tabs, so I can be looking ahead or working ahead, looking at which camera we're looking at, or which location I should be standing at, or which story's coming up next, and if there's going to be video, or if there's going to be an interview that comes up. And so these are quite important to us, not only on election night, but every night. And this, you'll find this interesting. The teleprompter that I told you about is voice activated. So I'm not mic'd up, so it won't happen. But if I were to read what was on the teleprompter and I was mic'd up, it would follow along. It's a voice activated teleprompter. But in the event that that isn't working, we have this little scroller right here. So if you look over there, when I turn this, it will move the teleprompter up. So if we need to follow along or we need to advance it, we can do that. And somehow I just did something there, so hopefully they'll figure that out. So that's it. That is our studio, and that's a look at what's going on here tonight. Now, you saw a few of the people who are working here. There are a lot of people here tonight. We have producers and directors and technical people, and we have our news management, our assignment desk, and we have our master control operators and reporters out in the field and photographers out in the field. Our anchors are here as well. So it is really a team effort to pull this off. And election night is really kind of our Super Bowl. So we take it very seriously, we prepare for it, and we hope to bring you the best coverage we possibly can so that when you turn on the news tonight at 11 o'clock, you will have the information you need about who won those critical races, because you took the effort to go out and vote and you want to know the results. So we'll have them for you tonight at 11 o'clock. Thank you for following along right now. You can follow our live stream, by the way. We'll be live streaming. Where are we live streaming?
Website.
On our website, yeah, and on YouTube. Thank you very much. And you can get a look at the various different locations where we'll have live reports coming up throughout the night. That's all for now. Check in with me at 8 o'clock. I'll answer some of your questions. If you have some questions, leave them for me. I'll try and answer some of your election questions. See you guys in a little while.